Is addressing a guy as guy rude? Non-native here, is addressing a guy as just guy considered rude? Like, while addressing a pet store clerk, "Hey, guy, how many mice will $13 buy?" Also, how long has it been in use?
It is now sort of neutral informal, used to refer to informal a man, a fellow a man, or youth. Source: this URL. The following may help understand the evolution of the term. What is the origin of guy? Now here's an interesting question, and one with a special resonance for me, aside from the fact that I am quite a guy myself, of course. Way back in my 8th grade English class, our teacher, annoyed at our constant vague references to this guy and the other guy, announced that if any of us knew the true meaning of guy, we'd never use the word. We all, of course, immediately decided that there must be some secret salacious meaning to the word, and spent the rest of the term snickering at every guy we heard. What our teacher meant, however, was that although Americans use guy to mean just fellow or chap, to call someone a guy in Britain was, at one point, equivalent to labeling him grotesque or weird-looking, and we had no idea that guy was an eponym, a word formed from the name of a real person. The person in the case of Guy was the infamous Guy Fawkes, ringleader of the gunpowder plot. In 1605, Fawkes and his co-conspirators concealed 36 barrels of gunpowder beneath the House of Lords, their goal being to blow King James I and the entire Parliament skyward. The plot was foiled, Fawkes and most of his pals were captured and executed, and November 5th, the day of the planned big boom, became known as Guy Fawkes Day in England. Guy Fawkes Day eventually became the British equivalent of the American Halloween, with effigies of Fawkes being burned in the streets or carried door to door by children begging for pennies. These grotesque effigies became known as guys, and by 1836, guy was being used in Britain as slang for anyone exhibiting bizarre dress or behavior. In America, however, the story of the gunpowder plot was not well known, and by the mid-19th century, we were using the British guy to simply mean a man. By the early 20th century, our regular fellow usage had percolated back to Britain, and guy no longer means weirdo in the UK. Source: frowny face. This URL.
I think Chris' comment is correct in saying that a guy as a term of address is not polite. There is a lot of subtle nuance with terms of address. For example, lady is a term of respect, and it's perfectly fine to say someone is a lady, but as a term of address, e.g., lady, there's nothing I can do about it. It comes across as impolite, a sort of passive-aggressive use of the term of respect, turning it into one of contempt. Guy, can you help me out, has a sense of condescension, because they, guy, and similarly, fellow, is almost by definition anonymous. It implies that I don't know who you are, and I don't care who you are just a guy, and thus I'd rather not deal with you if I could avoid it, but I can't, so. Even dude isn't as grating to me as guy. Maybe this is because dude is so informal that it dispenses with all pretense of politeness, and both parties will understand that. Also, it is not as anonymous as guy. You could address your friend, who of course you know by name, as dude, hey dude, long time no see. And the same goes for buddy, pal, etc. But if someone said to me, hey, guy, long time no see, I would immediately suspect that he has forgotten my name and is trying to cover it up.
Hey, can you help me out, is enough. Adding guy isn't really rude, it's mostly just weird. People just don't use it for direct address for some reason. Here are some things people do use commonly. Hey, you. Probably rude, definitely at least curt. Hey, mister. Just a bit old-fashioned. Excuse me, sir. Formal and polite, sir, is more common in the southern us. Excuse me. Still polite, but less formal. Pardon me. Pretty much interchangeable with excuse me. Hey. Ranges from informal to rude, depending on tone of voice. Hey man. Familiar or aggressive, depending on how you say it. Hey, bro. More familiar.
I know this is an old thread, but a friend and I was having this discussion today. I thought it would be okay to call someone you didn't know, like for instance a bartender or equivalent, hey guy, or just simply guy. I had heard it in a TV show, King of Queens actually. I found one of the episode scripts here. This URL. First time a friend says it to another friend, and the second time Doug says it to a gas station clerk. Could it maybe be more acceptable in, let's say, New York than a other state? Maybe it's because I'm not native English but Danish, but I don't think it sounds that bad or even condescending. Anyway, that's my take on it.
지하철 지목 폴크를 라인 스쿨